And then I'm going to mute out. Well, hello and welcome to Friday night update time. This is for week 68. I'm here with Gao. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Are you feeling a bit better than not yesterday? How are you getting on?
Yeah, it's doable.
Okay, I'll take that. I can work with that.
Okay.
It's also doable this side, so we are a go, I believe. God, I need to clean my glasses because they're absolutely filthy. I can't see jack through them. Anyway, we are here for week 68. It's all about performance progress. Oh my God. Oh, it's going to be one of their nights. Week 68 update. Performance improvements across the board. Improvements in the UI and animal AI feature in our across the board performance improvements. And seeing as I'm getting so tongue tied, I would ask if you wouldn't mind, please, Corey, to take us through the first bit.
Sure. So, week 68's update is here, and with it comes a batch of performance improvements that have been championed by our dedicated performance team and tested by our community. Improvements to memory, status and garbage collection, and engine performance are the core focuses. You can read more detail about what these changes mean for performance and how we went about identifying and improving them below. So let's jump in and have a read, shall we?
Yes, let's. Absolutely. Alrighty. Nice fortifications there with I'm noticing there's a concrete flat roof in the Arctic in the picture.
Yeah, not sure how good an idea that is, to be honest.
I'm not so sure I would have gone with that, but if it is indeed a concrete roof, I reckon they'd be all right.
As long as you put like beams underneath every single corner.
Mm, yeah, well, we're not seeing the inside of it, but it's just an interesting thing to note there that I like flat roof in the Arctic.
Well, we have
Yeah.
seen stone 2x2 basically getting destroyed by snow.
Oh yeah. 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 Anyway, let's move on. We have performance improvements. As mentioned last week, our dedicated performance team has been busy looking for areas in Icarus where we can find optimizations. If you want to read in detail about the 6 areas of focus for our team, you can do so here in our week 59 update. That must be a link. To summarize,
Oh, it's no link. I was looking for it as well, but
yeah, okay. To summarize, these are engine performance, game systems, memory, stutters and garbage collection, and connection. And welcome, Michael. You missed the music, but you're here. It's good.
hey, Michael.
How are you doing tonight? Are you busy this weekend? Got lots of nice plans. Um, okay, so we've a lot of stuff to go through here. This week's fixes all fall under memories, stutter and garbage collection, and engine performance. So, firstly, let's start. Removed overlap events from various collision objects on animals and changed some components to be non physical, quote unquote. This should improve performance with animals moving around as it limits how many how many events can happen when an animal moves around an area of the map. Yeah, maybe a little bit like that jittery bug deer that I saw last night.
Later on, there will be a bit more explanation about this stuff, about
Okay.
all animal movement and stuff. So yeah,
Okie dokie. Cool. They fixed the duplicate spawn of aim assist component on animals. Okay, thank you. They fixed aim assist component triggering multiple overlap updates during spawn. This was a small bug which duplicated the process and caused a small hitch when animals spawned. Good to know, glad they fixed it. Removed root motion from idle animations for buffalo.
again, this is all animal animations and
Yeah,
things they changed on animal animations.
yeah.
Most of them changes, a couple of them fixes.
Okay. Then they made talent trees share a pool of pop-ups rather than having each having its own. This has a significant impact on load times when changing maps, on average about 5 seconds faster. This had an effect when moving from the character select to the HAB to the prospect. Could you do the next few, please, Connie?
Sure. So
Thanks.
fixing a use case where the UI pop-ups, user interface pop-ups, waiting for a valid user interface on dedicated servers. But since dedicated servers never have a UI, if the client is gonna wait on the server UI to pop up, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Glad I fixed that.
Yeah, that would be a little bit difficult.
So improved performance on the talent requirement checks by avoiding data lookups where possible. Okay, fix some settings from autosave during initial load and then recursively rebuilding the widgets. Okay. Yeah, for most of those, yeah, you can't you can't really say much about it. But hey, fix
Glad
the
they
setting
fixed it.
screen from being constructed multiple times when the user interface first gets built. Alrighty. Fix some deep vein or fix deep vein ore deposit settings. Sorry, the deep vein ore deposits setting the material twice on the servers during startup. Let's hope they will put the same material in twice then. Cached a lookup of the replication state of stats to allow for fast replication updates when stats change. This speeds up the host working out which stats need to be sent to client when those stats change. Thank you, it's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Being host usually.
Yeah.
Fix the stat container updates triggering multiple events per rebuild. Oh yeah. The more rebuilds you have, like if multiple triggers multiple events per rebuild. Yeah, I'm glad I fixed that.
Mm-hmm.
So removes all critical hit logic from the stats system. Critical hit critical hit afflictions are now handled by a new column in the stat afflictions table. Although the only stat that was still using this was the chance to immobilize on the throwing knife crit. Brought it in line with the rest.
Makes sense.
From a developer point of view, I like that.
Yeah.
Fix an issue where the hits against inanimate objects were being considered as crits.
So
Okay.
you hit the door with your fist by accident and you get a crit number come up.
Yeah. Well, never actually got a crit number there.
No.
I've been hitting objects accidentally and deliberately. I don't really recall having seen crit numbers though.
No.
Okay.
Somebody obviously had it.
Yeah, looks like it. Okay, let's see. The enviro suit slots no longer get rebuilt every time the player's stat container updates. Yeah, depends on how often the stat container updates.
Yeah.
Every tweak, promised tweak is one, so.
Yeah. If it makes it better, we like that.
Removed expensive gathering function from the atmosphere controller. Replaced the calls to directly grab the variables that are being used instead. So taking a shorter, less expensive route. Good.
Makes sense, yeah.
Changed dropship parts to no longer tick and no longer animate while not rendered. What? The dropship kept on ticking even when it wasn't rendered?
Hmm.
Especially if you have multiple people in. That can become a tad costly.
Yeah.
The same here. Objects that can be set on no longer tick when they aren't in use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you
A
just
lot
did
of
did
chairs
you
and couches.
yeah. Yeah. Disabled collision with a dropship door while landed.
Oh yeah, sorry, I skipped that one. My mistake. Overlooked it.
Yeah, but the thing is though is that the one above it and the one below it are linked.
Yeah, well, these two are both dropship.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Moved some audio system stick to during physics, as they do not contribute to active positions. Audio systems being moved to the physics stick is due to them being a good candidate, as they don't influence object positions, and therefore can be done separately. Make it another thread, make more use of multi-threading, maybe? I don't know. Would be nice.
Possible. Okay. Disabled overlaps on the root mesh of equipped items. Okay. They also disabled overlaps on tree proxies. So would that like prevent
I have
a, a,
no idea.
a double tree?
I have no idea.
Okay. Optimized.
Michael says this is all over my head. Glad you're all going over it. Well, like I said, for quite a few of these things, it's more like, okay, thank you for the info. Not really sure what you mean with it. For some, you can, like based on experience, based on knowledge, you can say something, but not by all of
The
them, not by a long
re-
shot.
yeah, the rest of it just might well be a guess.
Yeah.
I am no techie here when it comes down to tech. Why do you think I get go to read all the technical stuff?
Yes, I have a developer background. However, that's like 2 decades ago.
Yeah, I haven't got you. It's 2 decades ago more than me.
Anyway,
Alrighty. Penultimately, we have they prevented armor meshes from being created on dedicated servers. This was an obsolete update cost that impacted performance due to servers not rendering cosmetic meshes.
Uh,
Well,
yeah, kind
if you can't
makes sense. Dedicated
if
server, you know.
yeah, I mean if you want to apply a skin but the program's not written to be able to apply it, then obviously it's not going to work.
Well, dedicated server has no user interface, so it doesn't show the armor meshes, the custom meshes. So yeah,
Duh. Oops.
it's only gonna like calculate it on the server whilst it's not shown on the sorry on the server. So yeah, removing that is gonna free up some resources on the server.
Sounds good to me. Alrighty, and finally, improved item trait retrieval speeds of several traits by improving the time required to access categories in the data tables.
That's backend performance improvement, not code
Yeah,
performance improvement, but basically database improvements, performance improvements. Good.
yeah, cool, cool. And there's our favourite picture.
Oh yeah.
That has been the thumbnail for quite a while. I'll have to see if I can't do something about that. But yeah, uh, carrying on, if you would please.
So, part of this week's optimization patch has been focused on reducing the performance cost of animals in the world. The cost on the CPU for animals can be broken down into three categories: processing their AI, moving them and updating their collisions, and updating their animations. In particular, we've focused on improving the performance related to animal movement. When an animal moves, it continues along a path that the AI has already picked out and updates its collision along the way. So it like navigates around rocks and trees.
Yeah,
This requires it to update its physics and causes further physics checks to be performed. Animals not only have a skeleton and a collision that is updated, but also some additional colliders, which are used for overlap checks in various different cases during gameplay. In assessing the additional colliders, it was determined that many of the events they were set up to
trigger.
yeah, let's see where I have to put emphasis here. Many of the events they were set up to trigger overlap events. Okay, looks like there's missing something from this sentence.
Yeah,
It was determined that many of the events they were set up to trigger overlap events which were being handled elsewhere or had been removed. Due to this, we were able to disable many of the channels that these colliders were responding to, and in some cases removing them altogether, drastically reducing the number of update triggers, and subsequently the resources used to calculate the movement of the animals.
yeah.
So where a
That's
single overlap only has a limited impact on the CPU, this will trigger or can trigger a ripple of other physics updates, such as animal animation, setting the position of the animal to the server and then relaying this to the local PC. And this could happen for every animal active at that time. When you consider 10 animals, each with colliders triggering overlap events, updating 3 times per frame, you can see how this cost would become noticeable for performance. So these events are generally quick to handle. Any reduction in the amount of calls reduces the load on your computer. Yep. There's a pack of wolves coming in. Uh, so updating 3 times per frame.
hmm
You run like 60 FPS. So 180 updates per animal per second.
yeah.
Uh, it'll add up.
Oh, quickly. Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
this should be especially noticeable when there are a lot of animals around.
If there's a lot of animals around. The only animals I tend to see around lately are the ones attacking me from behind.
Go into the Arctic and only wound a wolf. You'll get all wolves within a certain radius coming to you all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like 7 or 8 wolves or something. It can be a bit much.
Exactly. That's why I usually aim for kill shots.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, our change removed overlap events from various collision objects on animals and changed some components to be non-physical directly addresses this issue, removing the obsolete overlap events and limiting the numbers of events occurring simultaneously. We hope this explanation gives you some insight into the details of our ongoing performance optimization. It does.
Yeah, we do
And
appreciate it.
also gives you a bit of an understanding of the complexity of the matter.
Yeah, especially when the layman's terms are over your head.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to understand when you don't speak the lingo.
Well, there's this saying, it's easier to explain sex to a virgin than computers to a layman.
Yeah. Hmm.
It it holds truth, you know.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. And there, that's the
Scorpion
scorpion
armor, I think.
armor? Yeah.
The sandworm has the little antennae, and the scorpion has the little spikes. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hmm. Galileo progress. Okay, explain this again. Galileo is?
Galileo is the map for no, sorry. Rephrase. Galileo is the next big update. We have Prometheus being the map for the next DLC, which is Frontier something DLC. Galileo is the next big update.
Okay.
And these updates are independent from the DLCs.
Cool. Alrighty. This
So, this
peeps.
week's progress on Galileo has been focused on our bestiary rewards, connecting progress to the rewards so they are correctly granted to players. We also spent time working on the various user interface elements related with these milestones and the system in making steady progress towards a viable test product. The system is making steady progress towards a viable test product. We've also added 5 other different ways to gather information about creatures, so there is variation in the available milestones rather than just pure hunting totals. I reckon Aquaria for fish,
Mm-hmm.
maybe taming for some animals, but that won't be for all animals. So I wonder which ways to gather information we will get in the end.
Breeding.
There's the pure hunting. Maybe there's I don't know, breeding maybe, but breeding isn't in the game yet.
Yeah, but mounts weren't in the game either.
True, true. So yeah, hunting, maybe observing. I don't know.
Hmm.
Aquaria, like I said, breeding for the mounts.
An
Taming.
maybe an apiary for birds.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Hmm.
We'll see it at some point in the future content, I reckon.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Not today though, but hey, maybe in the future.
You never know. You never know. Okay, so now we're down to the change log.
So, for the optimization, reworked creature spawning to be spread over multiple frames. This should reduce hitches when new animals spawn in. I don't think we ever experienced those though.
Well, maybe we have, but we just didn't know what they were.
True.
You know, like these random bits of lag that aren't perceivably quote unquote normal. You know, like you say, oh, this corner's always a bit laggy for me.
Yeah,
You know,
but
but
because it's consequent, I don't think it's because of animal spawn.
no, but what I'm saying is that we may have actually experienced the issue but not known what it was. And so
Yeah,
therefore couldn't have attributed it to anything.
I don't know. I don't think those fixed spots where it's always laggy. I don't think it's anything to do with the animal spawns. More like map tiles loading.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so removed overlap events from various collision objects and animals. Change some components to be non-physical. Should improve performance with animals moving around. This was explained above in the like where they did some more explaining about the whole animal movement process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fix duplicate spawn of aim assist components on animals. Okay.
Okay.
What?
Thank you. Fixed aim assist component triggering multiple overlap at the updates during spawn, as was discussed above, I think.
Oh, at least they fixed the multiple overlap updates,
Yeah.
which will save CPU.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we've done that one. That was that's a repeat of the one above, and as is that one, and that one. These are just the only reason I'm not reading these out is because they're all repeated from above anyway.
Yeah.
Um, as is that one. I think the next that one and that one. Yep, yep. Those are all repetitions of the ones above. So the next one is moved map manager saving of map state to code. Merged map manager save data gathering functions to prevent additional iterations of the map tiles.
Let's hope this will
Maybe
give us
make,
better performance upon traveling.
yeah, maybe give you back them corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cached, I'll look up over here. Yeah, that's a repetition of up above as well. And so uh, that one and that one.
And one below. And
Yeah. Repeat, 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 and again. Yeah, I think the rest of these are just.
fix issue with blueprint tooltips not showing alteration packs correctly. And fix issue with blueprint tooltips adding a copy of the set bonuses text each time the tooltip is hovered. Let's hope it added the set bonus text only and not the actual set bonus.
Yeah. Okay.
So some blueprint tooltips. Okay.
Alrighty. Would you take us through the fixes, please?
Sure. So what's been fixed? Some updates and improvements to distancing for the transport part, removing of some old profiles. So let's hope transport pod isn't gonna spawn in a further distance, but just a closer distance now.
Mm-hmm.
Updated maximum loops to prevent pie crash in new missions. Okay, it would be nice if I knew which kind of loops and what they exactly meant with pie crash.
Mm-hmm.
Since I don't know, yeah, only thing I can say here is thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, for the remnant mission, let's see, is this a styx mission? Remnant is yeah, remnant extraction. Ah, that's the one where you have to do the five scans. We have done this mission twice.
Yeah.
It is a rather recent mission, and both times when we did the mission, we did the first 2 or 3 scans, the one stream, and the other scans the other
Yep.
stream, the
Yep.
next stream.
Yep. That's
So
right.
added failsafe tracking of radar scan locations will now additionally be marked as complete. It is a scan in the area at any time. Note, however, this may not fix missions in progress. No, this will be marked as completed as a scan in the area at any time. Okay, so, well, it didn't really give us a snap for the radar. It's just
No.
somewhere in this here area.
Yeah. Stick it
Maybe
in
they
this
widen.
circle somewhere.
Yeah, maybe they widen the area slightly. I don't know.
Okay.
If there's a scan in the area at any time, I don't know. Anyway, fix enzyme geyser audio, which was broken due to a change to the overlap audio component, which resulted in non-unique component names in subcomponents. Oops. Yeah. Fix is by changing subcomponent ownership from the owning actor to the overlap component itself. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Remove execution pins from a new storm particle system that was added for DLC. And it's making it look like existing weather is severe. Only on the internal server, so not something we noticed. Apparently, we're getting a new storm type. But then again, we are getting new biomes as well, so new storm types also makes sense.
Yeah. Like if you're in a lava-bound biome, you could maybe expect a firestorm.
Something like that, yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway. Firewalk. Firewalk? Yeah, okay. Firewalk delivery is an Olympus mission. Reapply cannot decay modifier on the crate after reload to prevent cases where the modifier fails to load. Oh yeah, you have to get the terraforming flashlight. Then you have to run back and bring it to your dropship, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay.
And do it before it expires. But if
Oh
it
yeah.
expires, you have to run back, right?
Yeah.
Now, if that crate where the flechettes spawn in, if it does not have the cannot decay modifier, then you get a storm. The crate takes damage and disappears altogether,
Yeah.
and then you can't get no more items. You can't get no new enzyme flechettes, and then oops.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have
That.
a problem with this mission.
Uh-huh. For sure. I was just going to say you're not going to get very far if that happens.
Exactly.
Except maybe to the station extra early.
Yeah. Without rewards.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, glad I fixed that.
Yeah.
Fixing up item static, which had some things marked incorrectly as def. And fix up item static, which had something marked incorrectly as def. Again.
Yeah. So they did it twice. As
Yep.
if it wasn't bad enough the first time.
Yep.
Okay, ironclad. Now that's interesting because we've just done that.
They added a failsafe for the loss of snap points. Ooh. So you're almost done. And then you come to the last location, and then you lost one of the snap points for those layer protection thingies.
Yep, not good.
No, you spent multiple hours in making this stuff.
Imagine
You
if it was the
come
last one as well.
exactly,
Ah, shit, dude, that would be nasty.
exactly. So I'm glad I added a failsafe there. And the last fix. Fix a bug where animation played when receiving a new modifier sometimes obstructed the crosshair.
Hmm.
When receiving a new modifier. I don't know. Oh, maybe. Wait a minute. Is this where? This is something I've struggled with before. I'm trying to shoot a cave worm. So I'm walking to the side, and then I hit a wall, and then all of a sudden I get the wet feet icon thingy right in the middle of my screen.
Ah, right, yeah, okay. So you can't see where your dot is.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing that I've actually
If
thought
that's
of.
this, then I'm very glad.
Yeah, that would be such a bitch. One thing I've actually thought of is, could they make a way to change the color of that dot? Because
Uh,
a white dot in the Arctic is not helpful.
well, luckily it still has a black rim around it, black circle around it. And then what color do you want to make it? Green in the forest. Do you want
I
to make it yellow or red? Both are going to be a tad harder in the
I
desert.
I I
Want
would
to make
make
it blue? Good luck underwater.
I would make it pale blue.
Like, is it going to be an issue everywhere anyway? So
Yeah. Alrighty, moving swiftly on. We have not much future content. So let's have a look at this.
setting up the heat maps for Olympus and Styx for the different fish spawn location, and creating spawn zones based on each heat map. Also hooking up the new Olympus and Styx fish spawning heat maps to their respective terrains. So we're getting closer to the whole new fish stuff.
Yeah,
Coolio.
sounds good to me.
Yep.
Adding rock dog vomit audio, event and notify.
Okay. Rock dog vomit. Okay.
Yeah,
Gonna be interesting.
yeah.
It's
Good
gonna
grief.
vomit pebbles.
Say what?
It's gonna vomit pebbles. Hey Jason.
Hey Jason, welcome,
This
welcome. How are
is
you
there's
doing?
apparently a mod to change the dot color.
I'm not too keen on using mods.
Same here. Not for Chris.
No. Icarus can be challenging enough. But yeah, it would be nice if you could just, I don't know, or sometimes maybe even put a physical, a literal crosshair around the dot, because I end up finding that I lose the dot really easy.
It's in the middle of your screen all the time. How hard can it be?
It can be really easy, actually. I only
Mhm.
actually pay attention to the dot if I'm hunting.
So you know what you should do then? Take a couple of pieces of rope and do them like put them across the screen, from corner to corner. There's your crosshair.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but then I can't see the
Yeah.
dot.
Details.
Okay.
So
Mm.
aquariums now swap to use the dirty mesh when they're not connected to an active power and war connections. Hey, cool. Will it turn dirty slightly, or is it like if it's hooked up to active power and war, it will have a clean mesh, and if it's not connected, it will be dirty mesh. So basically, insta flip. Still, it's nice they're gonna have different meshes.
Yeah, it just basically means if you've not got a power source connected to it, it's gonna stay dirty, I guess. Okay. Adjustments to drop prod transport sonic boom audio and fixed rock dog non-player character not having correct parent behavior for footsteps for new FS Notify.
The sonic boom, indeed. Like if it drops in, you hear the boom, and then you hear the engines.
Yeah. Yeah. But obviously, being the one landing on the planet, I don't really hear it too often.
I hear it more often, indeed.
Alrighty. Oh, this next one sounds really good. Setting up rhubarb, kumara, avocado, and strawberry data tables for items, growth states, rewards, so they can now be grown when acquired.
Cool.
Yes. Oh, I'm looking forward to taking a 50 level cat. I'm definitely getting a gardener again. I'm gonna duplicate the character, the best character I have for that. I think I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, just go into any open world to level up your character quickly. Go into an open world, do the missions.
yeah. Yeah, Jason says strawberries, yum. Oh, I wonder what you could get, like rhubarb and strawberry pies. I don't know what. Does anybody know what kumara is? Or am I even pronouncing it right? Kumara.
That I do not know.
Hmm. Okay.
It's a little place in the west coast on the southern island of New Zealand.
Ah. Jason says
Young
sweet potato. Hmm. Cool. Alrighty, adding Rock Dog Vomit as a vocalization event so it's not interrupted by flinch sounds. Also lowering idle state vocals spawn rates so they don't make as much noise.
I don't know.
Hmm.
So the vomit is not going to be interrupted by flinch. Okay, cool.
Alrighty, sounds interesting.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of animal we're going to get.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike,
that'd be good.
come.
Hey Mike, welcome, bud. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. And I'll take the last one here that says general landscape polish and cleanup, fixed caves in swamp, tundra, Arctic, and updated cave template on blue-green quad DLC map.
But yeah, Mike's here, so now we can go. Sorry, Mike, but we just finished the whole update.
Oh, poor Mike. What a shame.
But no worries, we will be doing
Well,
gameplay in a bit.
yes, we will. So, like, the Mike says, and begin. Shit.
Yep.
Well, listen, Mike, it's really good to have you. Don't worry about it. We will be back in 17 minutes. We will be back at 1:30. So, you could, I don't know, go and grab a biscuit to go with a cuppa you just made to sit down at the computer. That is it for our week 68 update. As they did say, that was another short and sweet one. So whilst we are in a break, we'll be discussing what we're going to do next because we haven't figured it out yet. I'd like to say thanks to everybody who was watching, everybody who participated in the chat, and to Gao for taking care of the Discord server for me tonight. That was brilliant. Thanks very much. And and we will see you in now 16 minutes. So until then, it's good night from me.
And good night from her.
And we will see you very shortly. Until then, remember, peeps, it's a dangerous world out there. So please, take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.